Welcome back nerds, Fino here. If you're watching this, it probably means you slacked on this event and you're in crap your pants mode. Not to worry, despite all the fanfare around the difficulty of this boss, that mostly applies to the full gauge version. With a bit of preparation, you can bypass that particular nightmare. The first step is to fully explore the dungeon. This will get you all 25 Hanafuda cards and let you empty out the Tokugawa gauge. At 0%, you get the weakest version of Kama. Another benefit of doing this is that you'll find the final copy of the event CE, letting you limit break it for an even easier clear. For the battle itself, you can use your full party. I'd imagine you'll want a single attacker strategy, which means running some combination of supports and taunters in your backline. Kama has 4 health bars, though at 0%, the health values aren't big enough to cause much in the way of problems. Right off the bat, you have a few mechanics to contend with. Your party is afflicted with Selfless Love, an on-attack debuff that makes them heal on hit, but also get 3 turns of debuff resistance reduction. For this version of the fight, you don't have to think too much about it. Another mechanic removes 3 debuffs at the start of all your turns, largely rendering this irrelevant. Maybe avoid Brave Chains on your supports if you're worried about debuffs. Speaking of which, Kama has 2 spammable skills of note. Mara's Ridicule reduces your defense and gives her a tick of charge. Seductus Ringara applies debuffs including Skill Seal and Charm. Most of them whiffed on my team, so I'm not sure about the others. Again, the start of turn cleanse will remove these for the most part, so don't sweat it. A much bigger issue is Nega Desire. Up through the start of turn 4, Kama will reduce your party's charge to 0 at the start of every turn. This makes looping for fast clears impossible, though with 50% chargers and the in-row Mystic Coat skill, you can brute force 1 or 2. You can run out the clock, though you'll want to pop the first bar before committing your major buffs. That's because on first break, Kama uses Tanha of Thirst, which heals you but purges your attack buffs. This means if you're trying to do a fast clear, you'll be relying on crits at the start. On second break, Kama uses Ranga of Pleasure and gains extra damage while also healing you. On final break, Kama uses Arati of Aversion, gaining damage against charmed enemies and a crit chance buff. Once Nega Desire expires, Kama can start summoning clones. They sit on their ass and build charge, but will do Kama's proper Noble Phantasm once their meter is full. Defeating them removes all debuffs from their killer. Unlike the full gauge fight, it's actually worth killing Kama clones before they NP. The clones also get a buff called Mara's Gaze. At the end of every turn, a random servant gets their debuff resistance reduced and their NP sealed. Unless you have multiple clones on the field for an extended period of time, it's not a huge factor. As Beast 3L, Kama will take neutral damage from all classes except alter egos and foreigners, who apparently get a slight bonus. But I wouldn't tunnel on that. What matters a lot more is having the event CE and maybe running an event servant. They get a hefty damage bonus, and if you desperately need a leg up, you can borrow someone else's Kama. She's by far the best servant for this fight, and as long as you can control your buff usage, she trivializes the 0% clear. That said, Kama is overkill. This version of the fight is doable with a lot of simple servants, and if you need an example, Hanako Green did a Ku Cullen solo a while back, which I'll link down below. At this point in the event, the clock is a much bigger threat to your prospects than 0% Kama, so get going. You don't have long to make it work. Thanks for watching. Like if you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more, and come watch me on Twitch where I stream every weekend, 3 PM Pacific time, Friday through Sunday. Till next time.